children, right? You can't do it. They're all amazing in and of themselves. So yes, every one of these are my favorite as well. So welcome everybody. Please, as always, pop in, say hi as you show up and you come in. Kellen, hi. Thank you for coming in. Everybody else, please say hi and let us know you're here. Otherwise, we don't know you're watching. And I want to know who's watching so that I can say hi to you. All right. So today we are going to talk about higher faculties, and we are going to tap into those. These are gifts that every single one of us has. And when we use them in a proper way, our lives can be off the hook, totally off the hook. So let's take a look at them. And the first thing that you want to look at or think about, and maybe you've seen it out there, is why do some people have huge success while others don't? What is that all about? And the thing is that they do things in a certain way. And that certain way is the way that we have been doing things. And they've been doing things, but they're doing them differently. They're using their higher faculties. They're using their imagination. They are tapping into all of the things we talked about all this week. They have a dream and they have a goal, and they are not going to let it stop until they get there. They're going to keep going after it. So they're doing the things you're doing, just doing them a bit differently. Make sense? Thumbs up. Nadia, Cynthia, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Another amazing quote by Mr. Napoleon Hill. An educated person is not necessarily the person with abundance of generalized or specialized knowledge. An educated person is someone who has developed the faculties of their mind so that they can acquire anything that they want or the equivalency of it without violating the rights of others. And that's really important, not violating the rights of others. You must be doing everything with integrity. There's room at the top for everybody. And when you understand that, we can lift each other up and we can all build and grow together. That is why I share this information with you guys this week. I'm not afraid of somebody taking my thunder. I am my own thunder. And I want to teach you guys how to be your own thunder. All right. And so when we study the things we need to study and we see the things that other people are doing that we're not, we can begin to do it. We can learn these things. And thank goodness Napoleon Hill said yes to Andrew Carnegie, because we now have a book that we can read and study and learn from and do all of those things that the other people are doing that are mystifying us. And if you ask them what they're doing, they'll probably say, I don't know. And they are what we call unconscious competence. They don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know what they're doing. But now we know. Look out, we're coming after you guys. We're going to figure it out. We're coming. So let's talk about our higher faculties. We have these gifts. They were given to us at birth. We didn't do something to earn them. We were born with them. As far as I know, every human has them. Doesn't matter where you live, what your current circumstances are. We have imagination. We have intuition. We have will. We have memory. We have perception. We have reason. But are we using them properly? Most of us are not. And as we've talked about already this week, a lot of us are using them in the negative side, in a negative cycle. Just like this drawing, right, from yesterday over my shoulder, right? We want to begin to think into our results instead of getting our results into a bad action based on where we've already been. So we're going to always go to the positive side from now on, right? Everything you do, you're coming from the positive side from now on. I know you are. So let's dig into imagination. This is our first one. I love this one. This one's my favorite one. It gives us, besides our hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, we also have our imagination that gives us our ideas and our thoughts. When you came up with your big goal on Monday, When we talked about the goal and that big, beautiful thing you want to go after that you've never done before and you don't even know how you're going to do it, that was your imagination engaging. And I asked you to be silly. I gave you permission to be outrageously silly and dream up all of the things you've ever wanted to do with your life. And that was your imagination jumping in. So you engaged it. See, we all have one, right? You guys all did it. So many of us use it in the wrong way. We use it to think of how a situation is going to go bad, how the meeting with our boss is going to end in a bad thing, when we could actually use our imagination to imagine ourselves getting a raise, getting a promotion, having a fancy work car handed to us. But no, we always go to the negative side. I want to invite you to always go to the positive side. Use your imagination in the right way, right thinking. Think of how you can. Think of, imagine, see it all happening. When we did our forward momentum yesterday, we went to our goal and we imagined what it looked like and felt like to already be there. That was your imagination. When we use it in the right way and incorporate it with intuition, perception, and reason, explosions, my friends. Magic happens. Magic happens when you use them all in the positive manner. All righty, next one, intuition. Intuition is our inner voice. When you sit in silence, it comes to you. It's very elusive. Most of us don't even know what it sounds like when it's talking to us. We confuse it with our habits and beliefs and judgments of what we feel like we can do and we feel like we're capable of doing, which is far less than we actually are. So if we use our intuition in the right way, we will listen to that little silent, still voice inside, the voice of reason, your inner God voice. And when you listen to it, magic will happen then too. Your intuition. You sit for that 3 seconds like we did yesterday. Breathe in and out. Sorry, you get the breathing in and out for 3 seconds. 3 times. And then ask yourself, sit quietly and listen. What does it say? What's that thing that's coming to you? It could be a picture, could be a word, could be a voice, could be a lot of different things, but it's your intuition talking to you. And right, it's in the first 30 to 60 seconds. Usually beyond that is your bad habits and your bad beliefs talking you out of it and telling you why it's not going to work and why you shouldn't do it. All right. It tells us the things we need to know. Every question always comes with a supplied answer. You have the answer. Before you ask anybody a question, you already know the answer. You're actually just looking for validation. You're actually just doubting yourself. What if you trusted yourself? What would that be like? It does tell you what the best decision is for you. Always trust your intuition. I promise you, like I said before, it will not take you off a cliff. It won't do it. Your will. Your will is not willpower. That is different. Willpower is force. It's brute strength. What we are talking about is your will, your desire, your will to do something. This is Dr. Wernher von Braun. He was working with JFK on the space program back in the day, and JFK asked him, what will it take to get man to the moon and back to Earth safely? And this was his answer. You just need the will to do it. Do you have the will to do the things that you want to do? Do you have the burning desire? You will do whatever it takes to do it, and you will keep going until it happens. Willpower is force. It's forcing something into existence and will not get you to where you want to go. Using your will properly will take you everywhere. Your will is also concentration. Hey, Carla. Hey, Jackie. Love to see you guys here. You're smart too, girl. Using your will properly will take you everywhere. Force negates. Allow it to happen. Just know and trust and move forward, knowing with faith. You're going to make it happen. It's going to happen. Concentration, persistence, completion of projects are all byproducts of a properly developed will. When you have uncompleted projects around your house, your will is probably not very strong. And I mentioned this the other day. You need to develop your will. Your will is your ability to concentrate. How do you develop this? Well, we went yesterday to your future self. What if you went there every day and today you went there and you set a timer for 3 minutes? You stayed there in your goal fulfilled for 3 minutes. Tomorrow, do it for 4 minutes. Set a timer. The next day for 5 minutes. Honestly and truly, concentration, a world record probably in most families, is about 10 seconds. So don't beat yourself up. If your mind wanders, and it will, just bring it back. When it wanders again, bring it back. Work on it, strengthen it. All of these higher faculties are mental muscles. The more you work on them, the stronger they will become. Memory. I can't remember who I was talking to the other day. It was one of you guys, and you were saying something. I can't remember things. I always forget stuff. I got to write everything down. The fact is that we all have a good memory. It's just a weak memory. We also have our future memory. We've been there. We went there yesterday. Our future memory. You guys that did that exercise with me, you all now have a future memory, right? You remember what that looked like when you were there yesterday. Welcome to your future self. You're welcome. Future memory. It's highly possible. You just have to use your imagination and go there and remember what it felt like. When we forget something, the truth is we never remembered it in the first place. I can't really go into detail on how to do it. There's so many facets to remembering different things. And most of it is ridiculous association. It's being, oh, Nadia. Sorry, girl. Oops. Everything that we want to remember is a different way of remembering it. Have you ever met somebody and you were introduced to them, you turn around 2 seconds later, you're like, ooh, what was his name? You don't remember. This book will help you. It has different chapters on remembering different things, remembering numbers, remembering dates, remembering names, remembering a list of items, like your grocery list even. Wouldn't you love to remember that instead of having that little piece of paper with you? And then you get to the grocery store and then you don't remember where you put the piece of paper. How ironic is that, right? So there's a book called The Memory Book by Harry Lorraine. And it's really good. You can get a hard copy of it, order it in, or you can download it online. I found a copy online in PDF form. So go to the chapter, normally on names is where I would suggest you start, and read that chapter. Ingrain it in your mind, live it, practice it in real life situations in your life. When you have that down pat, go to the next chapter, something else that you want to remember, and live on that chapter and ingrain that into your life, and then move on. And you will realize you have an amazing memory and you will blow your friends away. But you can have it. Even if you think you don't have a good memory, you do. I know you do. Reason. It tells us that there must be a better way. There must be a better way. If somebody else has it, so do I. This is hard. Why is this so hard? There must be a better way to do it. There probably is. You got to go find it. Use your perception, use your imagination. Now that your reason has figured out there's a problem, and go do it. It gets us to look at our situations differently and see if we can use our perception to work in our way to something more and better. Something more and better is always good. If you ever got an email for me, that's my sign off. More and better is always more and better. And you can have it. You have to use your reason to figure out that that's possible. It tells us that if they can do it, be it or have it, so can you. It makes sense. There is no capricious God. There is no gentleman up in the clouds on a throne going, you will have $10 million, you will live in poverty. Doesn't happen that way. We all have that ability. Hey, Rosa, glad you could make it. We all have the ability to have everything we want. It's just all of these things this week and honestly, much more that we would work on if you guys decide to work with me, that we will get through and you will figure it all out. And you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can absolutely do, be, and have it all. But you have to engage all your higher faculties in a proper way. No more negative thoughts. I used to be in Mary Kay, and my director in Mary Kay said, stop your stinking thinking. I'm going to put that on my next mug. No more stinking thinking. The last one, perception. Perception, how we see things. How do you perceive things? If a tree falls while you're camping and you need firewood, you're going to say that is a good thing, right? I bet the bird living in the tree doesn't think it's quite so good. Perception. You're in an argument with somebody. If they can see this side of it and you're on this side of it, what if you shifted yourself over and looked at it from their side for a second? You might not agree with their opinion, but you would have to admit they have their own perception of it, and though valid, you could still think it's wrong. But when you can see their way, then it's not such a big argument. You can be more humbled. You can be more kind. You never know what they're looking at on their side. Just like a coin, you hold a coin up, they see one side, they see a head. Here in Canada, I'd see a moose if you saw the queen. It's perception. I would say there's a moose all over this coin, and you'd be like, nuh-uh, there's some old lady on it. Perception. The law of polarity engages with the law of perception. The law of polarity is one of the natural laws we've been talking about kind of throughout this week, and it dictates there's always two sides to everything. A positive, negative, a good, a bad. Perception. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I have a story for you. Few of you have heard this story before, but it's a good one. It comes from the book U Squared that we were talking about the other day. And this is actually the preamble, the opening remarks to the book. And so here it is. It's called The Fly Story. There's a fly, a small fly, burning out the last of its short life energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of a window pane. The whining wings tell a poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder, but it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It's impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature would reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of its self-imposed trap and break through. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach? Something dramatically different. How did it get so locked in on the idea that the particular road it's taking and the determined effort would offer the promise for more success? The logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same. No doubt, this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. There you go, The Fly Story, a U Squared, Price Pritchard. It's a priceless book. It's only worth $10, but it's priceless. I do highly recommend you get yourself a copy of it. All right, I am going to move this back over to Charm. We're going to transition. We got Robin waiting in the wings. Back to you, Charm.
That was a wonderful story. I'm looking at that book now. Thank you so much for the recommendation, Connie. Okay, so we added a new segment. This is a bonus segment for each and everyone inside this group. And it's actually a special guest there's a special guest that we have for all of you here. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to bring it back again to Connie so that she can make a very good introduction of her friend waiting with us. So, Connie?
Hello, hello. Thank you. I have been waiting all week to introduce you guys to this lady. Robin has been with me for, I think we're coming on 4 months now. Robin will confirm that. She is a Prove It promoter. She is a singer. She is a songwriter. She is a wife, a mother, a grandmother. She is a public speaker, and I'm sure I missed a few. But let me introduce her, and she can tell you all about it. And please welcome me. Please join me in welcoming Robin to our workshop. Hey, Robin.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy. You got actually all your grandbabies there at your house right now. So I really appreciate what you're doing for us. I really do. So it's been 4 months, right? It's been about 4 months, give or take a few. And for those of you that don't know, probably nobody does, Robin actually met me on an exact training like this, right? It was a 5-day training. Can you kind of tiptoe us through, okay, you did the training, and then what was that like for you? How did that feel? And then you were, you decided to get on a call with me. What was that like? Can you just kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Yes. A friend of mine invited me to your training, and I got on the training. My gosh, this was something that I had been praying about, that I had just been so desperately needing in my business. And I thought, I've met my prayer. I really have met my prayer. I made that call, I made that call. Everything within me was saying yes. And then everything within me was saying, oh, come on, Robin. But I listened, the intuition, I listened to it, and I made the call. And instantly, I'm telling you, instantly, things began to change in my life, because I know that I needed something more. A lot of times we don't know. We hit a brick wall, and that was me in my business hitting a brick wall, and I knew that I needed something more. I didn't know, couldn't explain it to a lot of people, but with deep within myself, I knew that I needed something more. I knew that there was something going on, that I just couldn't get past that brick wall. No matter how I tried, I couldn't get it. So I'm thinking, okay, so maybe there's something else. And I'm telling you, I am so enjoying what we're doing. I'm so enjoying the thinking into results, because it's helping me get to the underlying issue that I had, and why I keep hitting the brick wall. So I am so happy I made the call.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm glad you did too. And for those of you that saw my outburst on Wednesday when I got a little teary-eyed, I am emotional. And Robin and I got so emotional on that first call, didn't we?
We cried. Yes, we did.
We cried together. We didn't even know each other.
We didn't even know.
So
we were doing that, that was a release that I needed, because I realized that I had finally made the connection. I had finally met the prayer. You know what I'm saying? Not that my prayer had been answered, but I had met the prayer that I had been praying for. And I'm just so thankful that intuition kicked in to know this is it. This is it.
Yeah, very cool. And where were you before that? So you were praying for something, but where were you, and why were you
Oh,
asking for more? Where were
I
you? What was that all about?
I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated with my business because I couldn't understand. Nothing was working. No matter what I was doing, it wasn't working. And I was ready to throw in the towel. I was just so exhausted, so upset with myself, just like, what in the world? I know that I can do this. I believe that I can do this, but why am I not doing this? I know that I can do it, but why am I not doing it? And then I'm like, there's another missing component that if I can just get to the root of it, because I know that there's a blockage there. And if I can just get to the root of that I feel like I'm going to be okay. But like when I tried to explain to other people, they would be looking like, but I'm like, I know that I can do this. I know I have to do this, not more. That I have to do this, This is something that I have to do. It's a must. This is something that life cannot shake out of me. People, places, and things cannot shake out of me. So I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So what in the world is going on? So I was in that place, Connie, that I was spinning so many plates. I was in a room full of broken plates because I was spinning so many plates. And that was one of the things, just spinning plates, just trying to get them spinning because I wanted to make it happen. I was in a very frustrated place.
Well, my next question was going to be, how are you feeling? But I think that pretty much sums it up. I think you summed it up. And you were actually you said your business that you were in before that, you had a brick and mortar business that you were doing, yes. And you were building a legacy for the women on here, maybe some of the men. Can you share that a little bit?
Okay, so I was my brick and mortar. It was a allied health school for people who wanted to break into the medical field, and I ended up giving more scholarships away. I ended up giving more scholarships away, which is a good thing, but it's a good thing, but it could be a bad thing when you're not bringing anything in. You know what I'm saying? But it was I wanted to open a door that led to a door that led to another door that led to another door. I wanted to do that for people. I wanted to build something for people, build something for my family, to lead that for my family. But what I realized was I wasn't building anything for Robin. I was just focused on doing everything for everybody else. And maybe, Robin, that's why it's not working, because you're not doing it for yourself. So I was there trying to take care of everybody, trying to just want to open doors for people. And I've come to realize that I have to want it for myself. This is something that I have to want for myself. And it took me a while, Connie, to find out what I wanted, because it was always geared towards the young teenage mother, it's always geared towards something else, but it was never geared towards, okay, Robin, what do you really want? What do you really want? So that's what I was doing, trying to do something to help somebody else get ahead. And like I said, that is not a bad thing. That is really not a bad thing.
Yeah, perfectly said. Yeah, we can do for others, but we got to do for ourselves first, because if we're giving away from an empty cup, sooner or later, and we're giving away our cup and we got nothing, right?
I was empty. So my cup was empty.
Yeah.
I had no more to give. More to give. I didn't have anything to give me. And that was the thing. I didn't have anything to give me. So I was trying to pour from an empty pitcher. And that was where the frustration was coming in.
Yeah, cool. One more quick question, then I'll let you back to your house full of company.
Okay.
Anybody on this show or on this workshop that is really not sure? They're kind of struggling with the decision. Is this chick for real? Maybe they're going to go it on their own for a while after this training, which is lovely, and I'm okay with that. But do you have any words of wisdom kind of for the people that are just there?
Listen, you got to invest in yourself. It's all about investing in yourself. When you invest in yourself, that's going to be the greatest return, because you can then invest in other people, but you got to invest in yourself first. I tried to go it alone for years and it did not work. It did not work. So for those of you who are on the fence, baby, get off the fence. That's a terrible place to be. Get up off that fence and look, put you first. Be a little selfish. Put you first. Put you first. And make that investment in you. Like I said, that is going to be the best investment that you can make, because then you can better do for other people. But you got to first do for yourself. And it's not selfish. And that was that wrong paradigm that I had, that it was selfish for me to want for myself. It was okay to want for other people. But if you're on the fence, Connie is real. I'm telling you, Connie is real. When you can, we cry together. She's real and she's accessible. You know what I'm saying? You can really be real with her. She meets you where you are. No judgment. She meets you where you are. So I've cried with her. I've gone through hormonal changes and just, I don't know why I'm crying, but I'm just crying. But so get off that fence and invest in yourself. It's going to be the greatest investment that you will ever make, because you're worth it. You're worth it.
Wow. Well, thank you. That wasn't what I was expecting, but thank you. This was not a paid advertisement, but
not a paid not at all.
No. And
not at
you know
all.
what? People are asking me, I've gotten these messages all week. I love your energy. Your energy is incredible. How do I get energy like you? And you have the same energy. And I think it's just because we just allow, and we're just ourselves, and we're real, and we're just free because we're doing for us. And we know when we do for us, we're going to be able to give to others. And it's just.
Yes. And so it's not a paid advertisement, no. But I'm grateful for what you're doing in my life. And so it shows. And so, I'm really grateful that day I took a leap of faith, that day that I connected. And so it's going to show, because I'm really thankful.
Thank you. I was blessed the day I met you too. We've had so much fun and much more ahead.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to let you get back to your grandbabies. Thank you again, Robin, so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.